So there are times, when we're praying in of God and we don't get the answer we want. And so we apply the thinking that we do. Like if a doctor says something that we don't like, you go to another doctor and get another opinion. So what people have a tendency to do, right, is your friends say, why don't you try this, what do they call it? Mediums and spiritists. Okay. And so, oh, okay, and you go. And, the problem is you don't know who's talking and what agenda they have, and if in the end it's going to be worse if you take their advice. So let's look at Isaiah 19. And so isn't it interesting that these mediums and spiritists have been around that long, and people still go to them this day, even though God said, 800 years before Christ or whatever, that it's a bad idea. In fact, I counted 50 different occurrences where God says, don't go to them. Don't do it. Okay? So, Isaiah 8, it says, when they say to you, this would be, your friends or your people you talk to, inquire of the mediums and spiritists who chirp and mutter, which is a really funny way of saying they have nothing to say. Shouldn't a people inquire of their God? Yeah, he's the one that made those, right? And so, yeah, you should inquire of God, but you didn't like the answer. And so in obedience, you shouldn't go looking elsewhere, right? You should say, okay, this is what's best for me. I don't see it. But like James, James says, if you ask in the right frame of mind, he'll give you an answer about why you didn't get what you wanted. And so he says, continue on, should they inquire of the dead on behalf of the living? When you put it that way, it sounds pretty stupid. Go to God's instructions and testimony. Compare what they say to the word. And if it doesn't jive, well, you shouldn't have gone there anyway, but now you can ignore them. And so, these guys have been around for centuries and centuries, and people continue to go to them when either A, they don't know where else to go, or B, they just don't like the answer. And so what I'm saying to you, you know how to pray, you know the reasons why you have unanswered prayer, what are the sources of unanswered prayer, and just fix that and quit going to other places for your answers. Don't do it. God says don't do it. In obedience, we shouldn't do it.